Sorry about that, guys. I got kicked. Hopefully we don't get getting kicked today. So we are back then, coming back into qualifying. Not like always, it always seems to kick me when something major happens. So here we go. Let's see if anything major has happened since I was kicked. No, everything looks pretty much how it was. Gochita, as I was just informed, has a qualifying ban. That is why he is coming out. Here we go, back up. So Mark is on a push up. Mark is actually improving his time, I think. So Mark's about to go into the 130s, I think, as Russ retires out under the tunnel for Russ. He is out, and Mark does improve to 130.6, giving himself some space to Destructive J. He doesn't improve, he's going to have to go again. So, we've got a few issues going on here. I'm just try and catch it. So we have Sergeant facing the wrong way under the tunnel. He's got no front wing either. And he's now decided he's going to cut the grass for us here at Japan. The sergeant there was pointing the wrong way, unfortunately. Mickey Banjo hasn't set a lap just yet. We've got a... And for the second time today, Brazen Dumari has spun it in the first corner on the exit. Has he picked up damage? He did this time. He didn't get away with it this time. He has lost his whole front wing. That's looking very damaged indeed. So Brazen's going to have to come into the pit. Oh, I've never done that before. Marty currently sat in the... Brazen is also cutting the grass for us right now. Spanner, I think, had a little spin. He's getting back underway. People just losing their rears a bit here. Into the pit comes Sergeant. Mark is on an in lap. Got 3 minutes to go, guys. Is Destructive J on a push lap? No, he's not. He will not improve. He's already passing his time now. We see him come into the pit. We run indeed. Now it's going to be tight now for people to get a new set of wheels on and get back out and get into that stage now. 2 minutes 40 to 1 minute 30 laps. So you've got to get in and back out quite rapidly here. Daniel was on a hard lap, so this is probably Daniel's. Oh, Daniel's invalidated. So Nevis is on an out lap. Daniel's on an out lap, so they're getting ready to send their final lap times in. Anyone who doesn't leave the pit in the next 15 or so seconds will not be making another lap time now. So we'll keep an eye on who's out on out laps. Gads and Mazza are also out on an out lap. Brazen has decided to put a lap in with no front wing here, so I'm just gonna see how that goes for him here. He comes around that corner. Let's see, where's the end of sector 1? Yeah, he's already 2 seconds down on his time. That weren't going to go well for him. Toby has invalidated, so he needs to save his ERS if he wants to go for another lap. Either he's running very low wings, or that AlphaTauri is scraping its front wing around the track. So unless you're out on track now, you will not be setting another lap time now. Mark's going to be tight across the line here. He's got 1 minute 15 to get round. Destructive J's coming out the pit as well. 1 minute 8. He ain't going to make it round in time, so Destructive J's qualifying is done. Daniel currently on his push lap now. We'll stick with him, I think. And Anubis is still warming his tyres up for his push lap. Let's see what Daniel can do then. On the power down, he's running stands with 130i on the Red Bull. Getting that power down. Is he going to be upon his time? I'm back to see. No, he's backed out of it. Daniel has backed out of it. He may be charging. Just quickly get up the telemetry. He's charging his ERS, so he should be able to get another push lap in if he's got the fuel in the car. Is he going to call it? No, Daniel is going again. Anubis is on a flying lap as well. So it's Toby, Brazen, J Parkin has invalidated his lap, so his qualifying is now done. Oh, was that Anubis that has spun then? It was. So then Anubis' qualifying is now done as well. So Marty retired. They didn't make it back round in time. Anubis just Anubis there. Did he impede Daniel there? Daniel, I think, had to lift a little bit, and there's another car. Oh, Anubis, just keep an eye on his mirrors right now. So Muna is pushing. I'm just keeping an eye now where everyone is. Oh, Toby's smashed into the barrier. That's Toby's. Oh, fucking hell, Toby. There goes your rear wing as well. So Toby's qualifying is done. Jay Parkin's qualifying is done. Looking at Brazen Demaria, I don't think he's going to improve here. No, he's definitely not going to improve. Mazza down in 11th right now. He's invalidated. He's not going to improve. Where's Toby? So the only guy that I think can improve is Muna and Daniel. We'll keep an eye. So Daniel's going to be the first one to cross the line here. Daniel is 2/10 up right now, which should only be good enough to put him up to P3. He's in P4 at the moment. See if he can improve. As he comes to the line then. Takes a nice shallow line to the line, and Daniel does go up to P3. What about Muna? Muna did improve as well. Muna goes up to P4. So Martin and Anubis get pushed down the order by Daniel and Muna. Now Muna went up from 7th to 4th there. Very good lap from Muna there to finish this qualifying session off. So this is going to be your qualifying lineup. Mark will take pole. Destructive J will start in P2 with Daniel and Muna just behind them on the grid in the Red Bull and Aston Martin. We have a McLaren in P5 and Marty, then Anubis in the second, Mercedes in 6th, Ross in 7th, Porthos in 8th, Simon in 9th, and Toby rounding out your top 10. And then Mazza, Gaz, Brazen, he didn't really have the best qualifying here. He's going to be a bit gutted with his session right now. He's going to start 13th, Jay Parkin 14th, Spanner 15th, Sargent 16th. Mickey Granger will be starting in 17th place. So here we go then. Everyone's going to be getting their engines fired up before we gather around this track. There's the confirmation of qualifying for you there. So Go Cheetah, Twigs, and Mickey Granger didn't say that. Mickey Granger went out on the wet tyres for some reason. He will be starting 17th. DJ Twig will be starting 18th, and Go Cheetah in the AlphaTauri today will be starting 19th. Not what Jay Hobson would have liked. He's going to have to get some pace in there, because as it stands, the AlphaTauri team are 10th and last right now, but the Mercedes are 1st and 6th. We should narrow that gap down dramatically at the time. That I think if it finished how qualifying finished, Mercedes would take the lead in the Constructors' Championship. So then everyone now got to get their setups locked in, get their strategies locked in as well, and then we will be going racing. I am expecting a few safety cars today, if I'm honest. It's not many times you go around Japan and not get a safety car, so we're going to have to see on that one. I wonder if people are going to under fuel thinking it's going to be safety car. We had quite a few spinners in qualifying there. We had a few front wings lost. It's making me think we're going to get at least 2 or 3 safety cars today. So you may under fuel here, but that's a risk. We could under fuel just that little bit. It might give you that bit of grip extra off the line, a bit extra pace for the opening few laps. But if we don't get a safety car, then that's when you've got to start getting worried. There you go. You can do a 1-stop here, medium to hard, or hard to medium. 2-stopper as well. It's not much difference. So got to do that. We'll keep that 2 Let's have a look at the tyres first before we change that to condition game. Lap data, track map, most of the field. So out of 19 drivers here, 15 drivers have decided they're going to go start this race with the medium tyre today. Mark and Daniel are the only two drivers, first and third on the grid, have decided they're going hard for this start. Now, it is actually quicker in this game to run hard to medium if you do the one-stop strategy. It's actually quicker for you, as Mark not going to be warming his tyres up in the gravel. It's actually better to do hard to medium in this game. It's actually quicker than medium to hard. But the problem is, if there is a safety car around that stage where the hard tyres could go to the end, that is when it would ruin you, because all them guys on the medium tyres switch to the hard and go to the end. But you can't. You would have to probably do an extra few laps because your mediums wouldn't go to the end. That's the dilemma you face. It is a risk. If you don't think it's going to be an early safety car, definitely go for the hards. Martin, JJ, Twigs have gone for the soft tyres to start this race. So look through this field then. Nice gold helmet there for Destructive Joe. In fourth. I do actually like looking at people's helmets. This Mark's gone for yellow. With the pink and blue helmet there, I think, on Daniel. Not black helmets, huh? I think fourth has got the new carp on that gives you a little fishtail, which I've been told helps you with aerodynamic drag down the straights. Go through all the cars. Like, here we go. Did Mark just spin it going to the line there? I think he did. Mark has a spin as he comes to line up on the grid, trying to get them last few burnouts in them. He will line up at the front of the grid, switch to the back with Spanner, as he's going to be the last car to line up here. Into his pit stop we go. Now I've noticed not many people, everyone lines up quite straight here. Well, there we go. Brazen does not line up quite straight. Brazen's gone for the very attackive stance here to go straight to the right on his start. And let's see how this start goes then. And we are going. Destructive J got an absolute blinder of a start here as he comes down to the first corner. Destructive J, oh, it's getting tight. Oh, there's a car off. A massive crash. That is a... Oh, it looked like an Alpine that went spinning off there. And I think it was. It's going to be Simon, I think. It was Simon. He's gone spinning around and he's lost his front wing. Brazen Damari's lost his front wing. Poor Foster's lost his front wing out of the first turn. So we have 3 casualties out of the first corner here, and we've got virtual safety car right now. Unlucky for these guys. Let's see how much positions there are. 8, 10 and 6 positions lost for these 3 guys off that start. Mark lost 3 places. He started on pole and he's down to P4. Daniel down to P5. Now they were on the hard tyre here, so the medium tyres got them off the line, and now they're going to have to settle into some sort of rhythm now. So poor fast Simon and Brazen all picking up damage then on that start. Destructive J leads this race then in the other Alpine. His teammate spinning it round on the first corner. It looked like there was contact there as we went into that corner. Marty's got up to second. Great news for that McLaren team. As we go back racing here to Alpine leads. Martin second. Oh, Marty's been spun round. Marty goes round. He was Peter. He's got to be very careful. He's going to pick up a 10 second. We've got 3 seconds there. Usually 10 seconds for cutting that chicane. So Marty was P2. He's now down to P9. Spun round. That's not what he would have wanted. Mark's got back up to P2 here. Mark having a fantastic virtual safety car restart. And just behind Muna, who's now entertaining Daniel and Anubis for company. As we come through the S's right now, Daniel's catching that curve and it's now put Anubis all over the back of him right now. Just need to put that to into four. There we go. See all the close battles are. Gaz and Marty. Marty's not having the best starts. He's gonna want to get back in. As we come round, Jay parking down in 10th, so he's got back up to Go Cheaters had a fantastic start to this race. Started in 19th, he's already up to P11 here. Jay Hobson will be cheering that AlphaTauri driver on. He is back up to the point. Both AlphaTauri drivers have actually gained places on this start, but so have the Mercedes except for Mark. So here we go. Destructive Jay is absolutely disappearing down the track here. He's got the gap up to 3 seconds to Mark. Mark's got Muna chasing him down there for that PT. Mark, remember, is on the harder tyre right now. He won't have the pace advantage, but he will want to be going longer into this race and hope there's not a safety car. Muna now chases down. DRS will be activated now, but you're going to have to wait all the way around the track before you can use it as Destructive J, but it's in a 1:35.4 for the fastest lap. Jay Parkin is out. Trying to find out where. Oh, out that last corner. That looks like a major crash for Jay Parkin. Is it another virtual safety car? I think it is. No, there's coming in there. There we go. There's the other half driving past the crash scene, and that is Jay Parkin out of this race. So we've got another. I think virtual. It is a virtual safety car, which will be good news for Destructive Jay. He won't lose any of his lead here. He'll be happy. He will not want a full safety car to get rid of his lead out top. Mark then. Peter's got the gap over Muna. Oh, Destructive J's got a drive-through penalty. Destructive J picks up a drive-through penalty. The leader of this race had a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. He hadn't timed it perfect on that restart, and that is going to cost him the lead here. That could, so it's going to be around 20-second net loss here. He just changed that quickly, so he will be coming out around P12 here. That is a disaster for Destructive J. Now we will be hoping for a safety car. Mark then's going to re-inherit his lead here at the front of this race, but might not be for long because Muna is all over the back wing of that Mercedes. He's going to get a good push here on Mark here. As we come down, look at the rear wing of Mark then as we come down. I think Destructive J is going to stay out here, just trying to put a bit more gap, trying to gain a few more position. And Muna is not close enough to Mark to launch an attack into the first corner. Oh, we have a Ferrari going wide, and the Ferrari has hit the AlphaTauri and sent him backwards. Oh, Toby's going to be fuming there. He was just minding his own business. The Ferrari had took a bad line through there and has now spun again. And he has took Toby out here. Toby's going to be absolutely fuming with that one. That's the AlphaTauri's down. This is not how the AlphaTauris want this to play out today. Gachita's up to 7th though, and he's chasing Marty down. Look through the field, the Twigs and Sargent swapping places there, and that is because Sargent has also had a spin down to P13 for Sargent. It's not the Haas team's day today. There's an AlphaTauri of Toby though. He's up in 12th right now, but he has just recovered from a spin or two after Russ collected him into that first corner. Nicky Granger's up to 14th as well. There's some of Portfast and Brazen, who lost their front wings on this first lap, trying to get back into this race here. Destructive J sets another fast lap, so Destructive J, I think it's 3 laps before you have to pit. And now Muna is right on to Mark here as we go into the first corner, and the Aston Martin driver of Muna takes second place from Mark here. As Mark got a response for that there, as Daniel also gets past Anubis here as Anubis spun. Anubis has spun into turn 1, and that's dropped him from P4 down to P8. Right now Spanner trying to look for way past him as he rejoined the track and couldn't get past as Anubis, I feel like, just lets him pass there. Anubis now down to P9. The AlphaTauri team will be cheering on that one as now Gochita moves up to 6th place then. And he's now got to get back into it and try and get back up that field now then. Simon and Mickey Granger going battling round the S's here. P13, Mickey Granger in P14. Alpine versus McLaren, just like in real life here. And there is Toby Marsh, whose race seems to be unravelling before our eyes here. He was up in the P5 or P6 was it until he got spun, and within a lap he's down to P14. I think he just needs to cool his tyres down, and just behind we have Porthos and Brazen going very close here. Some good battles going on throughout this field. Oh, we've got another car around it, and it's Anubis. Anubis has spun again on the corner before the long run down to the line. So Destructive Jade serving his drive through now. So where's that going to re-emerge him onto the track? P4, P5, P6. Where is Gaz? Here comes Gaz now. So that's going to bring Destructive Jade back out into P7 here. So he's lost 6 places, and well, he has lost 13 seconds then. He was about 4 or 5 seconds out in front. So 18 seconds for the drive through. He's now 13 seconds beyond the leader. He's going to have to try and catch that back up. Muna then inherits the lead of this Grand Prix in the Aston Martin team. A win here for the Aston Martin team will be crucial in the constructors for them. Let's see if it can hold it together. Muna, I think, did have a good race a few weeks ago, and well, I think tyre strategy messed him up in that race. Mark is now been promoted to P2, but he's trying to cling on to that DRS of Marina right now. He's right on the border. Daniel's in P3, just in a little bit of a no man's zone at the moment for Daniel. Gochita is slowly working his way back in there. Gochita is in P4 right now for the AlphaTauri. His teammates down in P17. They have literally swapped positions, the AlphaTauri guys, from the start of this race. But Gochita, as it stands, will be my driver of the day. He's worked his way up from P19 to P4, and he's now also closing on Daniel in front. Let's see if he can keep that pace going. Gaz one's a bit deep into the chicane. He's in a bit of a no man's land as well in 5th. Destructive Jade's already got himself back up to 6th here. Who's he overtaken? Destructive is a yellow flag. That's going to be for a McLaren of Marty. Marty's lost his front wing. That's where Destructive Jade's made up a position here. So into the pit comes Marty. And is Destructive J gaining on the leaders? He is not. He's not gaining, but he's already catching the back of that Williams ahead of him. And Sargent has retired, and we're about to come to that crash scene. We're going to have a safety car. We've got a full safety car. Ooh, that's a nasty crash there for the Haas and Sargent, and both Haas drivers are out of this Grand Prix. He must have sent it Lansky. Yeah, he has first bit of his front wings there on the left. Look, he's had a nasty smash there. So Haas team are out of this Grand Prix. It's quite an early safety car. I don't know if the hard tyres will do 20 laps yet. We'll see who's going to come in and pit. But this is going to be good news for the likes of Destructive J, Anubis and Toby Marsh. Some of the guys that have not had the best starts this race. Good chance for them to refocus the minds. Yeah, there's a few guys in the pit. Marty's in the pit. Toby's in the pit. They need to get out. Into the pit comes Muna. Mark's going to stay out though. Now Toby, this could be a good point for Mark. If Mark can get past that AlphaTauri, it's coming out of the pit. Just not close enough. That could have been a key move there in the battle for the constructors if Mark lapped that AlphaTauri driver there. that would have pretty much ruled Toby out of this race. But as it stands, Toby's going to be able to get back into this one, and he nearly hits the safety car there to come through the S's. So Mark then not pitting, he's on the hard tyres. You wouldn't think he's going to have to stay out. These other guys, I reckon, are going to pit for these hard tyres, and they are indeed. Destructive J's gone for the soft tyres, so Spanner. So they're looking like they're going to do a little stint on the soft tyre. Look at that, half the field on the hards, half the field on the softs then. So the guys that have switched to the soft tyre then are committing to a 2-stop strategy. They look like then they will go for the softs for about 6 to 10 laps before switching to the hard tyres to the end. Mark will have to pit, he hasn't pitted yet. Everyone is in that pit, it's a very busy pit lane right now. Keep that up there. So Mark though, after 8 laps, leaves this race. We get our first safety car. We've had 2 VFCs. Now we have our first full-blown safety car. Muna will be in P2. Muna though has pitted. He was leading this race. He's pitted. He's gone to a fresh set of hards here. He's going to have to try and overtake Mark for the second time in this Grand Prix to get his lead back off him. Daniels are fresh mediums coming from the hards to the mediums. I doubt them mediums to do 20 laps. I've seen more surprising things, but he, I think, has now committed himself to a 2-stop strategy. He did start on the hard so he wouldn't have had much choice. He would have preferred the safety car. About 6 to 7 laps later maybe. Kuchita in the other AlphaTauri then from P19 to P4. He's also on fresh hards. He's going to be on Daniel. He's going to be wanting to keep his good race going right now and keep going up the field. Gads in P5. Destructive J's gone for the soft tyres. First of these soft tyre runners. DJ Tricks picks up 3 second penalties. So as you can see, we've got 5 drivers with penalties right now. They're starting to come through now. It's quite easy to get a track limit violation on this track, and they all add up. This is Simon. So the Alpine. So Simon got spun round into turn 1 on that one and went to the back of the grid. He's now up to 7th. So great recovery drive so far from Simon here. He's now behind his teammate Destructive J as the Alpine team tried to pick up some good points today. Followed by Fry, Williams, and the second Mercedes guy of Anubis. Marty's P11. Porthos is going to be in P12. Mickey Granger in P13. So some of these guys will be quite happy there's been a safety car. Quite a few of them have lost front wings in this race, and this is a great time to catch back up to the pack, reset it, and get a good run back out on a chance for some points. Brayton's in P14, and now we're just waiting for the last 4 cars to join up. So that's DJ Triggs and Toby, who are only just coming round the first corner here. Everyone else is now about to start in sector 3, so they've got quite a bit of distance to catch up. I reckon we're probably going to get another lap of a safety car while we wait for these two to catch up. These two will be glad. Toby's race kind of unravelled though before our eyes. He was winning a good P5, P6 until being spun round by the Ferrari of Russ, and he just had a lap or two just where it did not hooking up for him. It's dropped him down to P17. He nearly got lapped on that safety car coming out. I feel the safety car kind of saved him there, if I'm honest, because it meant that Mark would have had to adhere to a time limit. He was literally 1 or 2 seconds away from being lapped and pretty much ruled out of this race, which has been absolutely disastrous for the AlphaTauris who are battling for this championship. And whoa, Twiggs is out of the race in a very strange place there. TJ Twiggs is out of the race. We've got another DRNF. He's done a George Russell and crashed behind the safety car. We're going to have one more lap and Maverick into the pit and gone onto the hard tyre. Toby Marsh and we're already be able to jump in if he comes down. He should be able to. And Toby's going to the pit as well. So into the pit comes Toby. He's really going to have to, if the safety car comes in on this lap, Toby's really going to have to push on this hard tyre to catch up to everyone. Let's see what Toby can do. He's going to have to really put a good time in here to catch up to this pack. So off goes Toby. We can follow them out. These tyres are going to be quite hard to warm up then, these hard tyres. The safety car doesn't really gain much speed around this track. It's all quite slow. Mark will be leading us away on this safety car restart then. So the safety car is in on this lap then, so Mark now takes control of the pace of the field. I think that's Toby's going to be very lucky here and just about catch up to the back of this field. Goodness, Toby, he's done a lap, absolute sin to try and catch up to this grid. So his tyres are going to be nice and warm here. He's going to be right on the cusp of catching the field before we go on the way. Just makes it. So Mark then keeping the cars going slow as he comes around the final corner. Now he pushes. Oh, right behind Daniel. And Gochita going racing up to the first corner. Here we go. Gochita's got the inside. Daniel's on the outside. And what a move there from Gochita. He takes that P3 from Daniel. Fantastic restart there from Gochita. And the AlphaTauri driver's up to P3. Daniel's down to P4 then. Great overtake there from Gochita. And Daniel's not really happy about that. He's now all over the rear wing of that AlphaTauri and hassling him. Oh, Mark's had a little spin. He's gone from the lead down to P7. It's caused a Cortina effect behind him. There's everyone now battling away in front and behind there. People slam the brakes on Gaz versus Simon's getting interesting. The Alpines have switched places. Simon and Destructive J in there going racing with each other. Here we go, Alpine versus Alpine. Destructive J running on the grass here just to get past his teammate. He's up to P5. He's on a soft tyre then, so I don't know if any strategy calls have been called in there. But the Destructive J that is on the soft tyres, he's going to be wanting to absolutely push as hard as he can. So Muna now leads for the second time in this race. He's picked up where he left off with that safety car. As I'm just looking down, Russ and Spanner switch places. It's Gochita there. What a restart from Gochita, and what a race he's having so far. P19 to P2 right now. Can he go the full way and get Muna here and go from last to first here? What a change of events that would be. Daniel in P3, there's a bit of a gap back to Gaz, who's now going to start coming under pressure from Simon and Destructive J. The Alpines are having a right ding-dong battle with each other. Oh no, Mark has gone into the Alpine, and the Alpine and Mark come together. Spanner's losing place as well. Spanner got damage from what's just happened in front of him. The Alpines were battling, and now, yeah, Spanner has picked up damage from that. Mark is also going to have damage from that as well. That is going to cost Spanner a points position right now then. Mark's had a terrible restart here. I think the Alpines battling there. I don't think the Alpines knew what they were doing there. They had been battling. I feel like Simon may have been trying to let Destructive J past. There's a bit of a miscommunication, and Mark has got caught up in that. And then so did Spanner. Spanner literally had nowhere to go. He had cars to the left in front of him. He had nowhere to go. and he's just been collecting. He is dropping places now. He has got a broken front wing, but the McLarens then up to 8th and 9th then for the McLarens. And Marty versus Nebo through 130. Marty then had to go off track to get that position, but he's ahead of the Mercedes of Nevis as we now come down the home straight here. Spanner then into the pit. He should go on to the hard tyres to the end. Probably get away with the mediums. No, you get into that territory where mediums could get you to the end if you haven't been on the set already. So Marty's up to P7. Muna leads them. Cheetah is only 4/10 back from the leader. And Daniel is with them too. So the front three all split by less than 0.7 of a second. These three guys are going racing now then. So Daniel's going to be on the better tyre right now. We have a yellow flag. Who is that? It's going to be Simon. Simon the spun. And that's put him down to P11. There's Toby starting a recovery driver in the AlphaTauri. He's got himself back up to P12 right now. So Muna leads. But yeah, pulling away from Go Cheetah with Daniel behind. The DRS will be on then as we come to the home straight. You want to be within about 5 to 6 tenths for it to really have much of an effect. You also want to be saving your ERS if you can. So we're going to I'll ride on board with Muna and look backwards because Daniel's right on the back of Go Cheetah as well. So here we go. It's going to be a nice view to have. As we come down, DRS is going to be open for 2nd and 3rd place. Cheetah is already gaining. Muna is not going to be close enough, I don't think. He is not indeed. So he's going to have to stay behind Muna for another lap. We've got a bit out of shape there coming through that 2nd corner there. And Cheetah is on the push. Anubis is in the pit here. He's picked up some sort of damage. Okay, he's following this barrel from the back of the leader here. Not the smoothest right now. As you can see, through the corners, Muna has Go Cheetah, so it's to a straight part of the track. Go Cheetah is coming back at him. These faster corners seem to suit the AlphaTauri driver better than the slower, more technical corners. Muna's pulling out a little bit of a gap now. He's going up to 6 tenths of a second. That will keep him safe in the DRS zone. Daniel's on the medium tyres, he's on the better tyre, but he's going to be getting nulled right now. Go Cheetah, he's going to have the DRS on Muna here as we come battling down. Destructive J and Gaz are going racing then. As we come down to 130, Destructive J back up to P4 then. Remember, he lost those. He was leading this race until he got a drive-through penalty and slowly been working his way back through the field. He's now up to P4. He is on the soft tyre, so he's definitely going to have to pit again. He's got 6.8 seconds to make up on these leads, but he's going to have to pit, and some of the guys ahead of him may choose to go the entire distance to the end of this race there. So that strategy call may have cost him just that little bit. Muna still leads. I'm just looking now and see where the closest battle is. The closest battle is this battle out from Simon and Mark. Round 2 is going on as well as they come out in the 1st and 2nd corner. Them two now back on to a recovery drive. Mark is getting quite used to these recovery drives, unfortunately. McLaren's though are silently and slowly working their way back up the field. If you look at position gain, then we've had penalties. Got a few both McLarens have got penalties. Those 6 seconds and a 3 seconds as it stands. If you look at position change, then look at that. Go Cheetah has made up 16 positions. Gaz made up 7. Mickey Granger's made up 9, but then everyone else has lost positions in this race. So this is going to get tasty then. As Muna is now actually starting to pull a lead over Go Cheetah there. Go Cheetah's just got to cling into that DRS zone here and hope Muna makes a mistake somewhere. He doesn't want to lose that DRS zone, does Go Cheetah, because Daniel is right on his tail then. Daniel will. I don't know if Daniel wants to be in this DRS only. I think he might want Go Cheetah just to come out the DRS of Moon just so he can get past him here. He's on the medium tyres, so into the pits comes Destructive J. And go the hard tyres. He's got 11 laps on these, so where's he going to come back out here? He's going to filter 1, 2. So Destructive J re-emerges from the pit. EMP tyre is going to be racing into that first corner there. Just about. Oh no, Brayson. Oh, he's been touched. Destructive J has been spun. Him and Brayson come together in turn 1. And the Alpine driver now down to P14. Unfortunately for him, he's pitted to the end now. He's going to have a hard battle to make that back up. A slight yellow flag, that would have been Brayson. So as it stands, the AlphaTauri team, you wouldn't have predicted this at the start of the race, or how everyone qualified. The AlphaTauri team will be extending their lead out in the constructors, which is just what Jay Hobson would have liked to hear today. Tamuna leads. Gojit pulled him back in a little bit here. He's within 5/10 of a second. He's gone up to 8. So Gojit seems to be losing the time in the slower corners. And that is costing him. He will have to DRS. So we're closing down on the straight. He's got to be between 4 to 6/10 of a second behind Muna for that DRS to have much of an effect in getting into the lead of this race. And these front three are gapping the guys behind quite remarkably here. Marty has made his way past Gaz here. Marty up to P4. Then Marty's on a bit of a charge here in that McLaren. Up to P4. Gaz is now down to P5, but Gaz is actually having quite a good race today. He's keeping himself out of trouble. Should be in store to pick up a few good points here, just to keep these last 11 laps going. Mickey Granger though, he's now in a McLaren sandwiches, Gaz. Martin in front of him, Mick behind. So Mick will be the next guy to try and get past Gaz. These guys are 14 seconds back from the battle out front. So we'll have a safety car. I don't see them getting into that battle out front. Just jump back there. Daniel then's right on the Cheetah. Look at these three. They're still battling away for his lead here. It's going to come down to a battle of nerves, and who didn't make a mistake, I reckon, or picks up a penalty going into the last 10 laps. And Daniel's all over the back of Go Cheetah in second. But unfortunately, because Go Cheetah gets the DRS off Luna, it nullifies it for Daniel. And Daniel, look, as you can see, doesn't close that much up. They both gain on Luna, but Daniel can't gain on Go Cheetah because Go Cheetah's also got the DRS here. It's what they call in the industry a DRS train. There's Mickey Granger then on to Gaz into the first corner. So yeah, these two battle it out. And McLaren's up to 4th and 5th. They both have time penalties here. So they're both going to have to go and push on now to try and nullify them penalties that they have got. So Marty, I think, has 6 seconds. Mickey Granger's got 3. They're going to have to push on now to get that gap up on the guys behind them. Gaz has now dropped down to P6. McLaren's on a really good day there. 4th, I haven't really seen him today. He's up to 7th. He's actually gaining on these guys ahead very slowly. He has the Alpine of Simon behind. I'm pretty sure Simon's got the fish helmet on, the Mohican, which gives you an extra 10th of a second, some say, down the straights with the aerodynamics on your helmet. Toby is in 9th. He's on a bit of a recovery drive for the Alpha Tauris, and as it stands, the Mercedes, both of them out of the points right now. Go Cheetah and Toby's points will put Mercedes an extra 20 points behind the AlphaTauris in the battle for the Constructors' Championship. Unless something major happens coming towards this end of the race. Bottas is in P10 in the final point scoring position. He's got 10 seconds to Destructive J behind him, so he should, with 9 laps to go, be quite safe out front. Out front though, Marina Gogita and Daniel still battling it away for the lead here. And whilst they're battling, they're still pulling the gap on 4th place here. It's going up by around 3.5 a second to a second and a half a lap. Daniel's going to be getting so frustrated. He's on the quicker tyre, but he just cannot get past the guys ahead of him. He's stuck behind Gogita in this DRS train. Really, just one of these guys makes a mistake, it'll change it. But as it stands, Marina Gogita and Daniel having good races here. Three of them look like they're going to make a mistake right now. They're all still going for it. Gogita really needs this last sector. He needs to really hook it up. He needs to be within about 4 tenths of Muna here to really have any chance. He's got it down to 5 tenths. But as we come out this final corner up there, boom, Muna pulls 2 to 3 tenths of a second out of that chicane. Every time on Gogita, Gogita's got to look at what Muna's doing through that final chicane and trying to hook it up. If he can hook that last chicane up, he will get Muna. It's just hooking it up and getting within that 4 to 5 tenths of Gogita. Daniel's dropping back a bit though from these two, down to 8 tenths now. Don't know if the medium tyres that he's got on is going to slowly start giving up life on him. I'm just going to have a quick drink and I'll be right back. I'm back. So Mark is actually trying to get some points back for the Mercedes here. He's just got past Destructive J. He's up to 11th. He needs a safety car. Oh, Destructive J spins. Managed to keep it out of the barrier. He was having a fantastic race at the start. He picked up a drive-through penalty, and after that his race is pretty much unravelled and he's spun again. That is definitely his race over unless we get a late safety car. As he takes down his own advertising sign there, BWT. He's back on the way. That pretty much ended his race there. Muna then still leads then. He's having a fantastic defensive drive against Gogita. I wonder if these guys have much ERS. All 3 of them have quite a bit of ERS here. I'm not going to say how much in case they're listening because I don't want to give anyone a tactical advantage. But they've all got a bit of ERS. He's using his at the perfect moment. He is looking like a Fernando Alonso with how he's defending. He's not really defending though, that's the thing. He's defending down that home straight, but doing enough so Gogita can't get the attack on him. Especially at that final turn, he's hooking it up every single time. And that DRS is just not happening for the guys behind him. So Daniel, he's stuck behind his guys. His medium tyres are going to start screaming right now. He's got 7 laps to go. Does he pit? Go for the softs if he pitted now. So pit stop here is about 22 to 26 seconds. So if he pitted now, he'd come out around 6th, 7th place here. As Simon gets past Gaz then. Gaz is slowly falling down the pecking order. And Simon then up to P6 in the Alpine here. We'll now try and focus on trying to maybe catch the McLarens ahead of him. Don't know if that's going to happen. He's done 19 laps on that set of hards as Simon. So people are going to have to start stretching their tyres now then to get them to the end. So Nebis gets overtaken by Brazen, then he's down to 15th. just not been his day today. So really the closest battles are the battle for the final 2 points positions. Here we go, Toby Marsh puts the move in on Russ into that first corner. I think it was Russ that spun him earlier, so that's a bit of payback there for the AlphaTauri driver, getting back past that Ferrari after it was him that spun him earlier on in this race. So Toby getting up tonight. I think he was tonight. I think them two just battling away with each other. Gaz in P7 is good result for Gaz this would be. Yeah, the flag in sector 2, and it's Muna, the race leader, has spun. The race leader has spun here. Go Cheetah picks up a 3-second penalty as well. Oh, it's all happened at the front here. So Go Cheetah picks up a 3-second pen. He has took the lead of this race, but the question is now, Daniel now, I think that's probably going to change his strategy. He's going to want to stay out. If Daniel could just save him 3 seconds of Go Cheetah here, he could pick up the win. Muna's now dropped down to P3. He'll be absolutely gutted. He has just done 15 perfect laps of defending from them two, and he's spun it. I did say one mistake will decide who's going to win this race out front, and Muna and Go Cheetah seem to have both made a mistake in the same lap. Muna spinning, Go Cheetah picking up a track limit violation, and that's giving it to Daniel. Daniel now currently then technically doesn't lead on track, but in the steward's room he will lead. So here we go, he's going to be fighting his way back into this one. All the dirt on that Red Bull there. He looks like he's been in the gravel a few times today. So Daniel then, his heart rate will be going up. He's got to stay within 3 seconds to Go Cheetah now. He doesn't even need to overtake him. He's got to be careful not pick up a 3 second himself, and he could win this one. Muna's now 7 seconds back on these two. There's a few time penalties throughout the track. That's going to decide a few of these positions. Like Marty's got 9 seconds of penalties right now, so let's have a quick calculation. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Marty's going to go from P4 to P7 as it stands, nearly P8. Porthos as well on the cusp of stealing that position as well. So right on board with Daniel. Daniel, I think he's just going to play it safe here. He's got 4 laps to go. He's got 4 laps on them medium tyres to hold it all together to pick up a win here. It's been a fantastic race from these guys, and to be fair, I will admit it's been a fantastic race from pretty much most of the field. We have seen some good battles. There has been a few bits of contact, a few spins, but we've only had one safety car. I think is it one or is it 2? I think we've only had one safety car here, which is quite good for this track especially. I'm used to seeing a couple of safety cars here. We've only had one, so I doubt we'll get one now if there was a big crash. Daniel though is actually now starting to struggle to stay in that DRS zone of Go Cheetah. Then medium tyres giving up the go. He's just got to cling on. That's all Daniel's got to do here. A bit further down the field, Gaz is in P7. He's slowly been working his way down the field. He was P4, he's now P7, and now he's going to be coming under pressure from Porthos behind him. Porthos here will be quite happy to try and take that 7th place on the track. We'll get it due to a penalty for Gaz. Porthos is also on the cusp of taking another position from Marty. Marty's time penalties is Porthos is going to be key for him to get past Gaz here, and he's going for it up to 130. Here we go. And he's got the move done before we got to the 130 yard. So Porthos is 7th. Oh, I've been kicked, man.